Swapping Secrets. My name is Jess.
And my name is Lawrence.
And if you guys haven't already, don't forget to spank that subscribe button. But today's topic is...
Reddit's wildest open relationship stories. That's right. We're diving in deep into the most unfiltered corner of the internet, Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, bum, bum. So we're going to be like literally reading out Reddit stories from open relationship dramas to swingers, confessions, polyamory dilemmas. What the hell did I just read moments? We're going to obviously read the comments too. I love comments. Some of the stories are hot. Some are messy. Some should have just stayed in drafts. It's probably the stuff that I wrote. Try and guess which one I wrote.
Wait, did you write in?
None of them.
No, there is a secret Lawrence in there.
Oh, is there?
A secret, Lawrence. So how secret is it?
Yeah.
I haven't read the stories yet. I've had a look at the length of them and I was like, good Lord.
You did a scan of the stories.
I pulled down the trousers of the stories and I thought, oh, that's a big story. And just a quick teaser, we're going to be playing Truth or Told in just the tip today.
Troll.
Truth or Troll. My bad.
Troll.
Truth
You know
or
the
troll.
trolls that live on the internet.
Troll.
All I can imagine is a little troll coming onto the screen now, being like, hee 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 hee.
So Gabe's gonna let us rip through that one later on, but let's jump
get
into
into it.
Let's jump into
Do you
it.
want to do your mouthful first?
All right, here we go. The first one for me to read out is titled Rant, Men versus Women in E&M. Dun, dun, dun. I feel like this could...
Just have fireworks come out now.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit uneasy about this. Anyway.
Where was it posted, Lawrence?
It was posted in the... Look, I'm not a huge Reddit person, but I understand how it works. It's in the subreddit, Ethical Non-Monogamy.
By secret-chest-9834.
Yeah, secret chest. All right, secret chest, take it away. Through my mouth.
Oh my God.
I need to rant for a minute. But also, hopefully, this helps some people who are getting started and wondering about the different experiences for men and women in the E&M. Oh, that's nice. It's a rant plus some guidance. Great.
Okay.
Backstory. My partner, 31-year-old female, and I, 34-year-old male, opened up 5 years ago on her side so she could explore her sexuality. Lovely.
Cute.
3 years ago, after seeing some of her good experiences and realizing how lonely I was getting, she encouraged me to open up on my side as well. Initially, she was only seeing women because I was insecure. After work, in therapy, and stuff I got in place where I was okay with her seeing men. She hadn't taken me up on it yet. I've had 2 dates. One ended up in a kiss. Girl crashed out of me after and her ex ended things. The other, we just mutually didn't feel the spark. She's had several long-term relationships and multiple friends with benefits. Hasn't been easy, but I've worked through it. Now, recently, she met this guy. I assume she is his partner. She met this guy through a social event. They grabbed drinks. She told me ahead of time that she was sort of maybe into him. I love that. And might want to take me up on the offer of seeing another man if I was still okay with it and the other guy was interested. Fam, this guy, that's how I imagine it. He's just like, all right, real talk now.
He's sitting down and he's doing a big
Yeah, this
spiel.
is like at the pub, like...
You know, he's high pitched. Fam, you know.
Yeah, like, fam, this guy shows up to drinks, like pure Adonis. No. Fam, this guy shows up to drinks and she mentions me. He's like, oh, I thought this was a date. She's like, well, I have a ring, kind of wanting to see if she was going to cheat or what the deal is. And he's just very, very casually like, well, there's a lot of less traditional relationships now. I thought you all might be poly. So anyway, now we're moving towards with maybe dating, maybe not, but at least seeing where things go. Meanwhile, I've caught feelings for the occasional friend through recreational volleyball, at the gym, friends of friends, my social circle, hell. Even the cute girl I would bump into in the mailroom in my building and chat with. All of this to point out, I'm not some like social shut-in wondering why dating is so hard. And every single time I've either directly or subtly tried to bring up E&M, my relationship status, dating, I lose that friend either because it's awkward for me to have to hit on them or because they think poly E&M is weird. Y'all, it's rough out there for guys. I need a hug and a good cry.
Oh, okay. I really do feel for him. I know there's like some comments afterwards and we can read those
We'll read those comments in a sec.
I really do feel for him because I understand that he's coming across he's not the initiator of this. So it's very fresh for him, so it can be a bit raw. But he's also got off the bat in a bit rough. It's not been the smoothest of train or ride for him. And I know what it's like when I get like a feeling that I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I really like it. But then there's no spark. And you're like, is it me? Is it my fault? Like, am I the issue? And especially to have two like big relationships as you start, it must be a bit rough. But hang in there. You'll be okay.
So
It'll get better.
he's saying like, essentially it's his girlfriend, his partner is finding it easier to get male attention than it is for him. And like, it just like, I mean, this is, I think, a common, it's like I think it feels, maybe it's hard because we're in this circle. We know that it can be harder for guys, but maybe guys on the outside, and there's a Batuta Advocate headline, which I've just searched up, which summarizes it very neatly because it's sort of like people on the outside getting in. Blokes suggesting opening up relationship, about to learn it's much easier for women to get a root.
Well, look, it definitely is a lot easier sometimes, but like I'm at least reflecting back on like our previous relationship when we were open. You've had ips and flows where like you found it easier and then I found it easier. There was definitely stages like when you found a rhythm, you were in that rhythm.
I'll be like, but I think this guy, he's not in this scene fully. Like, it's not his quote unquote bread and butter. It is literally my bread and butter, right? But so he's in this world where you're dealing with, let's call them muggles, as we do, where they're not in this, and like he's got to educate the people he's talking about, and most of the time they're going to be like, ew, no. So it's going to be like, oh, I'm out of this.
Yeah.
The times I found it easier to get dates with women is because I'm me, Lawrence, in this lifestyle who owns OSS, and I have a very wide network of people that I know. And just by pure fact, if I meet them here, there's already that gap of knowledge that's being satiated by them being here. They understand what this place is all about and what the relationship status would look like.
Yeah, so you got the even playing field kind of
situation. I've like the people who are not interested are not here, and I'm not talking to them. But for me, when I was going on like the dating sites like Tinder and Bumble and other of those, I got like maybe one very lukewarm response once. I was like, I don't get that much attention. And it's just like, you know, I realize my head's that maybe not that attractive, but you know, it was for the guys that I knew who weren't trying to do this kind of thing. They were just, you know, dating around and like, even though they were basically doing the same thing, they just weren't announcing it. Once you've got a partner, especially as a guy, they'd just be like, no, you're cheating, this and that. And there's probably heaps of guys who are doing that anyway. So it's kind of like, I don't want to get involved in your shit, so I'm out. Or I'm not interested in that lifestyle, I'm out. Whereas guys might be just like, I'm just here for a fuck anyway. Who cares?
Yeah. You guys are a bit more flexible with it. But should we read the comments?
So, what's his name? Secret Chest. Here, I'm sending you my my podcast hug for you.
Podcast hug.
Come to OSS and you'll probably have a little bit more luck, I promise.
I think he's in the States.
Come to OSS.
Come to OSS. Even better. Have a full trip to Australia. Come to OSS.
You heard it first. OSS is paying for your flight. Reach out to us on our Reddit. Swapping Secrets Pod.
Gabe will be
giving
you your credit card over. But let's read the comments. So, oh my God. Ploof Ponder Smudge.
Ploof. Not poof. Don't say that. You could be misconstrued as homophobic, Jess.
Oh my God. Ploof Ponder Smudge. If you are lonely in a relationship, then that's a shit relationship. Sorry, man. That's why she's spending so much time with others and that you are lonely.
Like,
I don't think that's right. Not entirely right. Like
well, he's actually asking like, but why is she spending so much time with others that you are lonely? Like,
yeah, she's not nurturing the relationship at
Yeah.
home, but I don't know, like,
But
you
he
know,
went to therapy and stuff.
in A&M, in anything, it's just like there is only so much time. You can't, you know, I mean, the people living that poly life can come at me in their comments, or if they got any thoughts. But to me, it's just like, if I'm just being realistic and practical, there is only a finite amount of time in the day that you can allocate to all the things in your life. You know, looking after yourself, going to work, your pets, your kids, whatever it is, and all the relationships that you have, you only have so much time to give to each of those things. You're going to take from something, give something to something, you're going to have to take it from somewhere else, whatever it might be. So if you're going to have multiple relationships, just by happenstance, you're going to have to divvy up your time differently.
That's
right?
fair.
So she's obviously doing that. And maybe for him, it's an adjustment where like now she's giving
More
more
of his
time to
time.
someone else, whereas he would be feeling like, oh,
He wants
I'll
more
do
of
that.
the time.
And I don't know if he necessarily feels lonely in their relationship. He might be feeling lonely in sense like, I feel left out. I want to do this too.
He wants to have the same new relationship energies and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, that's
I also
fair.
just love the grammar and like a lot of this like online writing. It just like kills me.
Well, it's because
really
people
hard to
write
read.
it really quickly and they just want to get it out. They want to voice their opinions.
It's
and be, like,
emotion
done with it.
expression. It's not an essay necessarily.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Secret Chess claps back in that comment. The short answer is that my needs are not her needs. Okay, so I was speaking on his behalf when he had already done it. I should have shut the fuck up and read on.
Yeah.
Longer answer is that it snuck up on me and us. Initially, she just wanted to explore physically with women. At the time was less of an issue as she came to grips with the fact that she is somewhere on the demi spectrum of her relationship and her relationship got more involved. I started to feel something was missing, but also had happened to have a couple of close friends move away around the same time, and we thought it was just that. As time went on, we sort of realized that there was a bit of a void, but also that we both wanted her to be able to continue and maintain her ongoing relationship. Additionally, she had gained some great friends from dating where it's just like it didn't work out, and she thought similar things might happen for me. She wasn't wrong. Two of my current friends are people I went on dates with or met on apps, but just didn't feel the spark. Plus, the more I was educating myself on E&M, the more I wanted to dip my toes in the water. So it seemed like a good next step.
Well, he's got a good head on him. He's got like at least a positive outlook and understands like, yep, there's something that we can work on. There's a stage that we're at.
Yeah, and it speaks to what I said. There was a learning
Yeah.
curve. It was like I had to adjust to her having a new relationship with someone else that wasn't him, as well as it's not stated plainly, but reading between the lines is being considerate of the other person, right? They built a relationship. It wouldn't be kind just to go, my boyfriend is now feeling lonely. See you later. I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to understand there's multiple emotions.
Yeah.
And you don't really know, like he said, he's educating himself on E&M. You don't really know E&M itself unless you are fully trying it out and figuring it out as you go. And it's different for everyone.
There's theory and then there's practical.
Exactly.
And they do different things.
I hope so.
Right. So along with lots of things in life. But anything else to talk about on that?
Not really. I feel like he's in the right path. He's kind of getting there. She seems somewhat supportive too. Like he speaks highly of her. So it's not like he's getting upset. He's just realizing that it's not working out right now and he's got to figure out a way. But he's also doing that in the most mature way and like voicing his opinion, but realizing that's not the end of the world. And he can keep trying.
And I'm following this guy too. I've saved his
you?
post. So like if he does updates, maybe we'll do a follow-up
update?
episode.
Check in on
and check on him.
Check in on our guy. Oh,
Hey, if you do an update though, mate, can you please just at us? Thank you.
Yeah.
we like to follow along and see how your progress is going.
Maybe we can comment to him, just go, we did a little bit of a
We
chat
heard
about your
you.
post. And like, if you
We
want to
feel
listen
for
in.
you. Yeah.
We certainly will.
Okay.
Gabe's on it. He's already
I'm on
added
it.
it to
I'm
his
on
to-do
it.
list.
Add that to the notes.
Oh my God.
Next, Jess.
Okay. So the
Same,
next
in
one's
the
also in the
subreddit.
same group.
Yeah.
But this one's by Jesus Weezus.
Jesus,
This is the only reason why I picked him.
Oh, wait,
Because
really?
of his name. Or their name.
I love it. Okay. I slept with my first person outside of my relationship and I've been having insane anxiety. Okay. So this is advice needed, guys. So recently I've slept with the first person outside of my relationship, which my partner encouraged me to do. And immediately once I was finished, I had to run to the bathroom and have a panic attack. Ooh. Even now, after a couple of hours after the ordeal, I feel so ashamed and disgusting. I was drunk, so I'm not sure if it had something to do with this, but I'm wondering if this happened to anyone else. Or maybe this type of stuff isn't for me. I need help. Girl, boy, I feel you. Like,
really?
Well, no, I feel you, but the anxiety can come anytime. maybe not a panic attack, but having anxiety if it's your first time and you weren't prepped
that's
for
true.
it.
Look,
Because they said, I'm assuming first time.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say I've heard of this reaction, but this is not necessary. This is from what I hear from people, because I've never had this, hashtag no shame. But it's this physiological reaction to a lot of ingrained beliefs that this person has already grown up with and carries into their relationships, that monogamy and, one person forever, grow old together, all that kind of stuff, not being a cheater, whatever it is, one person at a time, and then going against that, even though they may have wanted to, it's tough to reconcile those two competing
Ethics
inside their own head. So they're like, they're stuck now. I've done something. Probably alcohol didn't help because they didn't make probably all the same decisions they would have made had they have been sober. So if you'd done it sober, you just go, well, I made that decision. Like, there is no, like, now it's like there's this, like, I blame it on the alcohol, I blame it on whatever else substance that I was taking. So being able to just say, I mean, I probably would recommend, maybe doing it sober or soberish, like, don't get yourself legless. That's not great because then there's consent issues. But, like, I can understand having a drink because you want to just maybe calm the nerves down.
I would advise sort of looking, like you were saying, maybe doing some work on yourself before entering in that, because it sounds like you were saying, there's some ingrained way that they think or feel about things, or how they've been brought up to feel things, that is translating into this feeling now of, like, having a desire that goes against that and not knowing how to psychologically express it. Yeah,
it's like some kind of, like, massive cognitive dissonance, right?
Well, I mean, also it's the first time as well, so you get the first time nerves and jitters, so that doesn't
But this
help
is feeling shame. She's ashamed, or he's ashamed.
They're ashamed. Like, the disgusting kind of, it does sound like maybe it's not for them, because I don't think, my first time was nerve-wracking. I never thought, oh, this is disgusting.
I wouldn't count someone out just because of that. I think Gabe is right. It's just that you've done it now. Okay, now you've got a benchmark of reaction. You just go, okay, what was that, and why did I react like that? It's about interrogating your own emotions after the fact.
Well, look, they've at least
if
done
you're cold-blooded like me and don't have them, it's easy peasy. But, like, when you
well, at least they did the first step of expressing discomfort and trying to work it out.
They're clearly interested, right? If this person is having this reaction and then coming onto Reddit, into the ethical non-monogamy subreddit to write this, they're still clearly interested. They're trying to find a path forward. They're just going, why did this happen? And Jesus Weezers, that's why it happened.
Speaking of Jesus, it actually reminds me of a friend who went through the exact same thing. So she is a part of a couple that we've been friends of, my partner and I, for years. And suddenly she just opened up about being bi. And then, over time we did stuff together, and we said, oh, we should come to the club together. And we did, all four of us. And years later, since that's happened now, we've talked about it and not had any other sort of episodes since together, like done anything together. And we kind of talked about why that was. And she said, well, I'm just kind of over it now. And I moved on from it. But at the beginning part, she had, again, very similar feelings like this, like OP basically saying, oh, I grew up, in a religious household, and this is ingrained to me to act in a certain way and be a certain way. And so through the acts of coming to the club and doing stuff with us, she pushed past that. But then she pushed past it and realized, well, actually, I don't need it anymore. And so she's happy to let it go. So
that's about making an informed choice about how you want to live your life, and which is what I always advocate. It's just like, you might be monogamous, you might be non-monogamous, or anywhere in between, or something like that, or kinkster, or whatever it is. As long as you're not just towing the line, going, oh yeah, and just mindlessly bumbling through your own life. This person, like your friend, is just like, they did the work, they got through it, they actually realized, I don't want or need this, but not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me, which is great. Great. You found yourself, you know yourself, and you'll be probably far more content in your life going forward, because you're never wondering why or what if.
Yeah. It's like traveling, and just traveling for the sake of it to see if you like it, or if you like a place you go to. And you find you do or you don't, and you much rather doing that than not doing it and never knowing.
And having that want to always do it.
Some things you can just automatically know I'm not going to enjoy. It's just like, bull's testicle. I'm just not interested in eating that.
Well, let me tell you.
You know what? Intestines
Anyway,
is really nice.
There are
Let's
some
do that.
comments.
Yeah. Do you want to read the slut buddy?
Oh, who's reading this? Me?
Yeah.
Slut bunny.
That is the best name.
Yeah. Are we going to assume slut bunny is a man or a woman? I'm going to
Yes.
say we'll read it.
I don't think.
How about we read it?
And we
We'll
can
talk
decide
about what they
after.
say, but also try and pass judgment on the presenter.
Okay, go.
Slut Bunny says, not my personal experience. Okay, so it's me. But I'm sure I can comfortably say that this type of thing has probably happened before in other dynamics and is definitely not uncommon. The idea of opening up your relationship can feel very different to actually doing it. This is the theory versus practical thing.
Mhm.
Some just enjoy the fantasy of it, and that's as far as it goes. Maybe calm down.
Whoa.
Definitely me, this person. It's male. This person is male.
Okay.
Maybe calm down, take some time, sober up, and think about how you actually feel. Do you have a sense of regret? A feeling that things will be different now? Guilty of enjoying yourself? There's a lot of emotions to work through, and finding the exact cause of each can be difficult. Speak to your partner. Be open about your feelings and concerns. Are they feeling similar?
I mean, yeah, we actually didn't talk about her speaking to her partner once about that either. That's a good, out of all of that little kind of harsh, very direct
Yeah.
comments.
It's kind of implied though, isn't it? Like, I
I
guess
don't know. It's like their first
What's
time.
implied?
It's like I don't feel like there
that you
would.
talk to your partner about
I know,
it.
but maybe some people don't
Sometimes
because
it
they
might not
feel
be.
bad.
I
I
guess.
agree. It could be like,
It should be implied. Like it should
It
be a
should be,
thing,
yeah.
but it doesn't sound like they might have already talked to their partner. Like it does sound like they're having a panic attack, and if they're in a panic attack, they haven't talked to anyone. They're probably just like, let me tell
we
the
don't
whole
know what
world
they've we don't know what
instead.
they've said to their partner. Maybe they said it was fine.
Yeah,
Are you going to do it again? Oh, maybe. It's
they might have
very.
brushed it off.
Abrupt and
especially if they're not
See how we
feeling
go,
the best about
and they're not
it.
talking about anything. Who knows?
I don't know. Well, look, Jesus Weezus came back to that comment saying, I never thought about the fact that I might have just enjoyed the fantasy but not actually want it.
Good point.
So just watch some porn.
Or just fantasize about it with your partner while you're fucking. That's one of my big ways of like introducing the idea of opening up your relationship in a
You could always
in
do
an
it
established
together.
monogamous relationship.
Mm.
Talk about the fantasies while having sex with each other. Like, wouldn't it be nice if another guy came in and fucked your ass right now?
Mm.
Oh yes, that'd be so nice.
Or even just like watching porn together and getting off on it together. That's a
Yeah.
fun thing to do.
Yeah, they've got every category in porn. It's just like you name it, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want to watch where
I
the
don't-
plumber
yeah.
comes in and rearranges your plumbing. There is a category for that.
Is that your most recent lookup or something?
No,
No, just your thought process.
you shall not know about my porn habit viewing things because I can't because it's banned here in Australia.
It's actually banned in multiple places now.
Yeah.
Pornhub. That's sad.
Really?
Yeah.
Poor
Look.
Pornhub.
I get a lot of my porn off Twitter right now. X, whatever. What do you want to call it? It's all there.
You can get it through Reddit too, honestly.
Oh, really?
Reddit's
Yeah, it
actually
is.
even better for like getting specifically what you'd want to
Oh,
find.
look, I watch one video and then I'm like, Jamie, we gotta have sex. Let's go. I get very like after one video, I don't need to watch more. I'm done. I'm
Wow.
good.
But
After
Jesus
one
Weezus
video.
only talks about the one thing that they might have been a fan. That could be true, but it seems to be avoidant of the fact that there are other things to interrogate, and I think still need to be interrogated for this person
Maybe
to
not
feel.
interrogate. That's a bit scary
Well,
word.
it's
Maybe just investigate.
well, if people
it.
understand the language that I'm using, then that's on them. That's like if they want to think that I'm
Okay,
like
okay.
waterboarding them with their own emotions, that's not what's happening.
Waterboarding.
Mm.
If you want to analyze your own emotions, you still. I think Jesus is still going to have to do this, regardless if they can't. They just go, "Oh, it's just a fantasy," and that's where I should have left it.
Mm,
You've done it now. You've got these feelings. You're still going to have to go back.
that's true.
Well, we'll see if Jesus has a second coming.
Fucking Jesus.
on,
Good
on
luck.
on the third day, he banged again. What? That's a sermon I could come to.
He rose again. on the third day.
Fuck, we're going to hell. All right,
I thought
next
we already
one.
were in
Can't
hell.
wait.
All right, this is in the subreddit non-monogamy
Okay.
by Alomina. Alomina. Setting boundaries around unwanted touching at sex club. That's the headline. Oh, I like this one. All right, let's go. I like the heading rather.
Okay, go for
Not
it.
too long ago, I started going to a sex club.
Mm.
I was making the rounds. A pretty woman waved at me, so I waved back and sat down to talk to her. She was sitting on her own. As we were talking, our shoulders were touching, which I liked.
Aw.
At some point, her male partner comes over and joins the conversation. This was fine with me. However, that was not what was not fine is he immediately put his hand on my knee and started stroking it. This was uncomfortable and it went for way too long. I didn't say anything because I didn't know how to speak up in front of his partner who was touching me the way I liked. As an aside, I considered being open to couples looking for threesomes, but it worries me that I struggle to set boundaries. I've gotten a lot better at it than I used to be, but I still struggle when there's an audience. I'm not interested in the couple in question, as I later found out that they're a package deal and I was only interested in the woman. I've considered some ways I could have set boundaries with the man, but I was worried that I would upset the woman or that she would think her touching was unwanted. Would saying, please don't touch me sound too harsh? What are some phrases I can use in the future? Has anyone had to set boundaries with one half of the couple during a threesome? And if so, how did you handle it? Fascinating post. I've got some thoughts.
Yeah,
You go first,
I
Jess.
feel like it's not too harsh, especially if a guy's come up or like their partner's come up and started touching you without even asking either. Like he's not been involved in the conversation that you're having with the girl, and he's just instantly assumed that he can do whatever he wants, and that would tick me off too. Like I'd be like, please don't touch me.
Yep.
Especially if like I'm having an in-depth or sexy conversation with the girl and then all of a sudden I have some guy rubbing my leg. I'm like, oh my God, what has happened? Because it really turns you off instantly.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate, but it does sometimes happen in couples where they haven't communicated and they've assumed whatever's happening over there, they can jump in on that, which is not the place.
That's interesting though, because the context is a sex club.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a bit of information she's omitted there in her description, maybe about like what happened up to the point where he was touching her. Like,
well, she says she noticed this woman sitting on her own. They started talking, and their shoulders started touching, which she liked. Okay, so I have a qualifier for this. Obviously, non-consensual touching is not okay. I will say that up front, and that's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
What I want to raise is as something that I find curious in her description is that she was comfortable with essentially non-consensual touching with the woman, but as soon as it became the man, then it became a problem.
So it sounds like she's into women only though, because she's also said that at the end of it being like, I was keen to be that threesome, but then I found I was more just
yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is like I've seen this here at the club where women think that just because they're a woman, it's kind of a free pass, and it's not. Right? So women think it's just like, it's okay for me to touch another woman because we're girls and we're probably bi, and that's all la-di-da and rainbows, sunshines and lollipops, and it's not the case. And it's one of these things where obviously she's clearly into women more, or in that situation she was only looking to play with women. So then it becomes this question of me, this thing to me is just like, it's only not okay because it's someone I'm not interested in. But just say this other man came in, but transform it into is a woman, and she started touching her leg. Yeah, like would she have taken the same umbrage?
Well, there's two factors to consider. One is the kind of touching. So the kind of touching that the woman was doing to the woman was pretty subtle.
Subtle, yeah.
Yeah, and
there are safer places to touch a person non-consensually in the sense of, and I say that means like if you're trying to get attention. Like for me, it's just like, and I train our staff. It's like if it's loud, they can't hear you, and you need to get past them. And the only way is they need to physically move, but they're not moving because they can't hear you. It's just like someone on the shoulder, or like or like on the hand, or like there are more intimate zones on the body. It's just like, don't pat their bum to ask them to move. That's not okay.
Don't slap their cock out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like you can touch someone on their shoulder, like, you know, the literal tap on the shoulder. It's like, it's hard to be mistaken for anything sexual. It's like, excuse me, I need to get past. That's okay, right? That's a form of non-consensual touching, which is to me okay.
So what are you trying to get at is that the precedence for consent needs to be also set at the outset, with regardless of the partner and gender in
exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not saying she's wrong or that situation is wrong. It's just, I'm just talking from a more overview levels here in the club. Is just like all touching should be consensual. And I get that like you might be having a chat and you're getting flirting and the banter is good and body parts start touching. That's kind of a natural way of communicating and flirting, and you know, your knees start to touch. But yeah, the hand on the knee and stroking it is sexual and not okay. I totally agree. Onto her boundaries thing, I get what she's saying. I get that it can be hard, and especially if it's asymmetrical between the couple, right? It's like, I'm okay with you doing this, but you can't.
Yeah. Well, that's always a hard conversation to broach as well. Like, it takes a lot of, I guess, for that person to feel comfortable enough to say, please don't touch me, or I'm only into women. Is that going to be an issue? Like, a lot of people kind of get to that situation where they're like, shit, I'm in this situation already. How do I say no now?
I think she asked specifically that, how do I deal with this? I think please don't touch me is a little too harsh in language initially.
Then what would you say?
Unless
the meaning can be the same, but it's just the vernacular that you use, right?
Well, you can be like, oh, I don't like that.
It could be the level of aggression of what then constitutes as the right thing to say. So if it was really quite intense the way he was grabbing her, then I think the response is valid to say, please don't touch me, if it's that kind of level.
Yeah.
But if it sounds like this is more kind of him trying to be sensual in a sense, so it's probably not too aggressive. For my own experience, I've had that where, you know, I assumed that there was consent in touching during a circle at a club, and the woman, like, I put my hand there and the woman just like was like smiley, kind of like, and like kind of just took my hand away. You know?
I was going to say that, as I say, you could just gently just like.
And I got it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I mean, yeah, I think sometimes people just assume that just by doing that, they're going to come back and be like, oh, I'll put my hand down again.
But she asks us, what are some phrases that I can use in the future? I think just gently sort of like moving his hand away will communicate that. But in terms of like an actual phrase, it's just like, this is tough.
Well, like, I don't think saying please don't touch me, because just coming from people who assume they can always touch me at the club, I'm like, oh, please don't touch me. It's what I use all the time.
Okay,
Because,
I think what I have.
Without doing that, I get touched consistently, and if I've moved a guy's hand away, they will put it back. And I don't know if it's because of I'm just from the club, so it's different.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I suppose
sometimes
I'm speaking from a male perspective, and I don't know what it's like to be a woman in this perspective. So I'm conscious and sensitive to that.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, and what I've been trying to coach myself a lot in doing is start with a positive, like an actual action that they can make in the positive or the affirmative, rather than a negative. Please don't touch me is telling them what not to do. How about telling what to do?
But what if you don't want them to do anything then?
It doesn't matter. Like, you can say
Please
to
don't
him,
do anything.
no, you can say, please ask before you touch me. And she still has the option to say yes or no. It doesn't imply any kind of consent or where he can touch her. It's one, educating him, and two, letting him know her boundaries.
Yeah, look, I agree. I've had that line said before, and guys get cocky and they're like, well, what can I do? I can do whatever. And I'm like, oh my God.
Then you know that that's a fuckwit, and you just go, thank you, goodbye.
Yeah. If we're talking about a reasonable circumstance where the guy would be
if he's
responsive,
understanding,
then I think your point is valid, Lawrence. And also, I don't know, for me, it's just like, I'm happy to hear, not right now, thank you, or no, thank you, you know, like.
No, thank you is a good one.
No, thank you is a good one.
As you're moving their hand, be like, no, thank you. Like, because you're not directing them to do something else.
That's fine. Yeah. And this is the stuff that I say in the newbie talk, as well as I also strongly recommend people don't say no, not right now, unless you mean not right now. Because if you say no, not right now, and then they come back.
Well, this isn't the case for her because she prefers women. So I
would
would just say like, no, thank you. I'm actually just into women. Is that okay? You know?
And you know what? That would probably be great. It tells him what he's not allowed to do with her, but also communicates something that she's interested in. I think that's probably perfect. Hey, I'm just actually looking for women here.
Yeah.
But then it might muddy the waters if, like, maybe there's a woman who's now, let's flip it on its head. A woman is now stroking her knee that she's not interested in. She can't use that line anymore.
Well, then she can just say no, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, the no thank you is also being polite.
Yeah, absolutely. And we encourage people. It's just like,
say no, thank you.
The best, easiest one, which is just thanks, but no thanks, or a version of that.
I'm flattered, darling, but
oh, darling, no. And just flick their hand away with a pen.
You have a pen handy on you? Jesus.
Yeah, just for the comedic effect.
Well, they're like Edna Mode from like The Incredibles. No, darling.
So
All right. So let's see what the audience had to say on this. So the jackpot. Okay, I'll read it. I think it's incredibly important that you do not worry about sounding too harsh when setting boundaries around who is allowed to touch you at any time for any reason, ever. If asking her partner not to touch you when he has neglected to obtain your enthusiastic consent in the first place did upset her, then you'd at least know she's not a safe person to play with. I feel like that's a little harsh. Like you can't automatically just be like she's not safe because she's like reacted like that. Like
look on the face level of this, I agree of what the jackpot is setting, and I do agree, and I know where it's coming from, but I think there is a distinction between too harsh and rude and just being overly aggressive. I don't know. I know he's done the wrong thing.
I know, but then you can't assume that the other person's unsafe. Like it just be like, okay, they're not for you.
Because then where is the limit? It's just like it's never too harsh if I just started screaming in his face or something like this. Like
no, I'm not saying
like Helen Lovejoy in The Simpsons.
No,
I don't know. Like it's
no, I don't think it's too harsh to be like no, thank you, or like no, please don't touch me. But then you can't assume because the female has a reaction that they're unsafe. Like,
yeah, we haven't spoken to the point about what she was also asking was she didn't want to offend the other person. And I agree. Even if no matter what you said, which was too harsh or not too harsh, doesn't matter, and the person got offended, it's kind of like the same thing as like if he got offended, they're not your people.
Yeah.
Fuckwits. Fuck them off.
They're not fuckwits. Shit happens.
No fuckwits.
Well, look, she came back and said very true. So obviously she's in agreement. But there is another comment. Do you want to read that one out?
Yeah. You wouldn't be out of line to say that, but if you're looking for a more subtle, less confrontational way to go about it, you could just move your knee gently and brush his hand away with your own hand. You don't need to have to make eye contact to stop the flow of conversation, but it clearly stops the unwanted behavior and most will understand the signal.
Look at that.
Alamina, the OP, responds with, I've considered that, but worried that it might be more confrontational. Oh, God. I think it would be easier for me to do, however. And I know I shouldn't worry about being confrontational when someone is crossing a boundary.
I think the response you would get from doing that, and I think that's the perfect response. That's what I was saying before about just moving the person away. It's the person that's doing it, how they respond, that determines whether you're safe to even continue being
or
there.
not.
So take that first move, and the person who, if they're a reasonable person, will get it and stop fucking around.
Can I just quickly touch on one of the bits that we haven't talked a lot about in the OP's comments about how to address asymmetrical boundaries with a partner?
Yeah.
I think you just have to kind of be just direct about it. Then again, there is a rude way of doing it and a polite way. So ignoring the non-consensual touching, let's just say you're just talking to a couple and wanting to say like, I'm only interested in playing with women or men or whatever it is. And you just got to say that, like, this is what I'm interested in.
I do find though,
this is my fantasy. Do we align in any way? Like, but it sounds like in this particular situation, she found out they were a package deal and everyone moved on and it was no big deal.
Yeah, like I also find like it's very, or at least when I'm at the club, I don't commonly see the guy with the partner normally sit on the other side of the girl. Normally he will sit next to his partner. So it's like the two are facing inwards towards her rather than either side. I don't normally see that play out in the club. Like it's almost like you kind of put your prey in the middle. I know this sounds a bit aggressive, but it's like, I also just watched that the new movie. Anyway, whatever. But it feels like he's maybe made her feel uncomfortable already because he's kind of sat down next to her instead of sitting next to his partner, and she's kind of felt a bit closed in because
so she was cornered.
Yeah, and it's like unintentionally, or maybe that's how they work.
About. She was at the apex of the triangle.
Yeah, but it was like, I watched Apex. It's actually a really good movie. Anyway, but. I feel like it's because of that also could have put her up and made her feel a bit like awkward and icky. And so her defenses have gone up even more when he's touched her. I mean, she's like, oh my God, like stunned.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's just like sometimes positioning in the group can be important.
Yeah. So like,
But yeah, I think back to about like addressing the differences between maybe people. It's just like you've got to be direct in some way. You've got to tell them what you want, and it's part of the flirting and the conversation and and just the whole banter of being in the club. And that's what I try to encourage people when you're talking. You're people interested. It's that whole flirting of our fantasies and sharing those things, and that's what makes it hot. And you can find hopefully you can find some common ground. Speaking of flirting, we
took the line out of my mouth.
Want to talk about?
Let's talk about our sponsor, Flirt.
Yeah, one of our awesome supporters, Flirt. So flirtadultstore.com.au. Support this show, and we want you to support them. So you can go get some yummy, delicious toys, outfits, and other adult paraphernalia at their stores. And if you use the code
Secret 15, it's down below because if we screw it up, at least you guys can't.
Yeah. If you use the code Secret 15, you get 15% off your order, and obviously lets them know that you are listeners of the show. It supports us, it supports them. You can bring all these goodies to the club if you like. We
have actually got all of the Flirt toy cleaners around the club as well. So if you forget and you come to the club, you can see it all around the club.
Yep. You can even clean your willy with it.
I wouldn't recommend that.
All right, next story.
Oh my God. Okay. So from the section Swingers Newbies, Strawberry Main 465. Husband upset after changing a rule at a lifestyle club. How do I reassure him? Oh, I like this one because it's going to be a little bit like gritty. Okay. My husband and I went to a lifestyle club with another couple we're friends with. We've swapped with them before, and we've always had a no kissing on the lips rule. This time, my husband suggested we loosen that rule, and I didn't see any issue with that. Funny, loosen your lips. Anyway.
Which lips?
All of them, obviously. While we were all playing, I was on one bed, and my husband was on another right next to us with his partner.
Play partner. Right?
With the play. I was like, with what? The other guy came up behind me and started kissing me. I kissed him back, thinking it was okay since we had just agreed that boundary changed. Afterwards, my husband told me it made him uncomfortable and that it looked too intimate to him. Now he's upset, and I feel bad because I genuinely didn't think that was crossing the line. We had just talked about changing that exact rule. How can I reassure him that it wasn't emotional or personal, just part of the moment? How do we move forward so we're both on the same page again? Does anyone else go through these things? I don't want to continue if it hurts anyone.
All right. First things first.
Here we go.
Fucking sit down, Strawberry Main. Let me give you the fucking good word. You and your husband are allowed to definitely call some audibles in the moment and change a boundary. Just because he said, hey, actually that made me uncomfortable doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong or he's saying you've done anything wrong. I think what the husband is saying is like, after seeing that, actually, I kind of want to stick to our original rule of no kissing on lips because it made me uncomfortable. That's it. That's the end of the fucking story.
I don't understand. I understand, but I can see your point where it's like, how do I try and say it wasn't emotional? It was all part of, it was like, part of the moment. And that's what I feel it is. I think maybe explain that more to him and be like, it was literally part of the moment. But if you're uncomfortable with that, don't do it again. Like, you can't go back on it. You don't need to apologize for that. It's, we tried something. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So let's continue on with the path that we had before. Right?
Yeah, like exactly. And yeah, it's part of it, for a lot of people, it's part of physical intimacy. It's part of sex. Kissing on the lips is a part of sex.
I am curious as to how you guys fuck without kissing other people.
Yeah, for me it'd be weird. Like
it's really hard to not do. Like I have tried. Like actually the reason we didn't is this particular play partner thought they might be getting a cold sore, so they were like, please don't in case. They didn't have one, but they just thought. And I was like, okay. But then I felt really awkward being like, so what do I do with my lips? I was like, oh, I'm a fucking
wrap it around something, baby.
Like, I don't know what to do with them. Like, it feels
I've had the exact
awkward.
same experience, honestly. Literally here at the club during the 3Cs, it was a partner and his wife, and they just wanted me. But he said, look, kiss other people. And I was like, all right, fine. I found
Yeah.
plenty of other things to put my lips on.
You just
Yeah, but okay.
I've seen how many cocks she's been sucking. I'm not kissing her lips.
I don't know.
Or you might be, I've seen how many cocks she's been sucking. I need to kiss her
But it
lips.
sounds like this is a one-on-one moment that they're having. Like, so does that mean also like they can't kiss on the lips, but she can't kiss at all? Like, can't kiss his neck? Like, I know that's going a bit too deep into it, but like, how far does it go until it's not intimate?
The main question is like how do I like the boundary got moved? Now he's upset. It's just like that's
That
okay.
happens.
That's allowed. How do I reassure him? You know how to reassure him. You explained it. Like you've just that's what you tell him. If that's what was happening, that's what was fucking happening. Tell him that. And I've said this on this podcast before. Michelle has taught me this lesson. It's reassurance. It's not assurance. It's It literally means you're doing it again and again and again.
Well, look, with some of the comments that have come from this on the post, pink on my tongue.
Pink on my tongue definitely likes to kiss.
He suggested loosening the rule, but didn't anticipate how it would make him feel when he saw it. This kind of thing can happen when a boundary gets moved. The biggest thing is to be empathetic and recognize his feelings. Then go back on your previous rule without any pushbacks.
Amen.
I couldn't agree more.
I was just saying amen because of Jesus.
No,
Jesus.
we're not in the
Jesus,
Jesus post
Jesus.
anymore. Do you want to read what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like
I
I'll
read
read
the
the
first-
nice soft one.
I read the
and
first one. I've heard the first line. Okay, I'm keen to read this.
Okay.
Mike Webster 2020. No, don't let the husband off so easily. He changed the rule in the moment and then got butthurt when it didn't work out the way he thought it would. Do not change rules in the moment. And if it's your idea, you can have emotions about it. But you cannot punish your partner because that you are a dumbass. You can discuss it like an adult, but being upset with your partner is childish. OP, you can empathize with your husband. You can agree to go back to the no kissing rule, but you also need to have a frank discussion about how and when you change rules and how to deal with emotions that don't make you feel like you are in the wrong, especially when it was his idea.
I just love the way that was worded.
Do you
I had to
reckon
put it in.
Mike
It was
has
such a
gotta
yin
be-
and yang between the two comments.
I feel like
loved
Mike
it.
might have like had a rule change and then
I
someone
feel
got
like Mike-
butthurt.
Yeah.
I feel like Mike has had a partner do this and
And then he's got the
he has
shits.
gotten the shits because they've gotten upset without understanding what's actually happening. So Mike, to you, I would say, fucking settle. I'll use your same language. Fucking settle down, you fucking idiot. Oh, sorry. No, you didn't actually say that. No, you're not a fucking idiot. Mike, settle down. They're not being childish. The husband is allowed to have a reaction. Of course they are. They don't know. Anything could happen. If they change their mind, it's one thing to say, I'm upset, I didn't like that. It's another thing to punish her. I don't think the OP ever suggested that the husband was punishing her. It was just that she felt bad. Your advice is you don't need to feel bad is kind of right, kind of not right. Of course, like the empathizing understands like someone else's perspective and position and what they might be feeling. And you have to be understanding to that if they're your husband or your wife.
Yeah.
But you might not have to go, look, in that moment, I wasn't actually doing anything wrong. That goes without fucking saying. You don't need to emphasize that point. Right now, you're just trying to manage how they were feeling.
Also, it does happen from time to time. Boundaries get like crossed or things happen and you feel upset. Like we're all adults.
That's like saying
It's just
I had an
being an adult.
idea and then we did it and it didn't work out, but I'm never allowed to be upset about it. What a fucking stupid way to go through life. You'd never have any ideas in case I didn't like it. Fucking Mike.
Well, on a really nice topic where if we're all swapping and we're all fucking and we don't want to get any bad juju and get anything that we don't want, let's go head over to our friends from Stigma Health.
Yeah, so Stigma Health are lovely sponsors of ours. They support this show by giving all our listeners a discount for any of their services, which is Secret Spot 20, SECRET SPOT 20. And Stigma Health, what they do is they're an online sexual health screening service. So you can go on, log into their service, fill out all your details. They do take Medicare, and then order a sexual health screening that you can take straight to your pathologist without needing to go to a GP or seeing anyone in person.
Yeah.
Then the results get sent back to your account within a few days, and you can see whether everything's all good, or you might need to have a discussion with a doctor. I have personally used it. I love it. It literally takes
5 minutes.
even when setting up the account. So the longest part is setting up the account for the first time when you've got to put in everything. I did it from walking to the parked car to the pathology center, took the number 1 spot and was in and out like within like 30 minutes, like the whole process, everything done, results back to your phone. Super easy, super useful. You can multi-buy referrals as well. So if you are in the non-monogamy scene and you want to get regular health screenings done every 3 months, you can multi-buy your packages, and that coupon code or that discount code works on that as well.
Amazing. Well,
we've had enough fun reading.
We've read it. We've really.
Can we do that more? I like
that.
that. I'd like to.
You like Reddits too?
I think we'll revisit this in the future for sure. I definitely want updates from Jesus Weezers.
Yeah, because I've had some strong feelings that I feel.
You've had some strong feelings. Well, I think we should get into the fun part. Just the tip.
All right, just the tip. We've got our little whiteboards. They are blank right now.
Not for long.
So what are we doing again?
This is truth or troll. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, so we have to decide. Oh, Dora.
I'm going to tell you the fucking rules, Jess.
I thought you already had in my head, and then I was like, no, you haven't said anything yet. Sorry.
Oh, it's funny every time. Let's jump to how it works. I will read a short Reddit story. There will be a mix of either real posts or fake ones written by us or written by actual people. Okay. Right? You guys will have to vote whether it is real or fake with your paddles. Okay. Right? I'll say 1, 2, 3, reveal, and you'll tell me if you think it's real or fake. Okay. There's no changing your answers after you've guessed it. I'll reveal the answer and you get a point for each. There's 5 of these, so you have to get the best out of 5. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Jess is
should have had the red flag, green flags. If we real, green for red. Nah, let's go.
Oh, I just realized I don't have it open. 1 second. I thought I did. Me. First one. Is using condoms not the norm with new/casual partners? ? I've been in E&M for several years and solo/exploring polyamory more in the past year. I've now had several men tell me that they can't/don't use condoms and just get tested instead, which is great. Plus, I have an IUD, but I'd still prefer the extra protection until we get to know each other better. I'm in my early 30s and my partners are in their 30s, 40s, and typically they have been in the poly community a while. I feel crazy. Is this a norm or do I just find assholes? Lol. Is this real or fake? I'll give you 3 seconds or 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Sorry, I'm writing it. Got it.
1. Jess was the one in class who was writing her answers in the test right to the end.
I was. My ADHD brain was like, nope, that multiple choice needs a change. And I'm like, fuck.
You're like, 30 seconds. Shit,
I think that's a real post.
It's truth. Yes, it is a real post.
Truth, it's truth.
Truth, not troll.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
It does.
I think like that is becoming a little bit more prevalent. And
you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
I mean, it even happened in like Dr. Barlow when we had that talk with him, and like, I mean, he wasn't talking about the exact same community, but there's more emphasis on like, things like taking PrEP and the regular testing and all that as the safe sex measure rather than a physical barrier.
Yeah, I've got like a lot of people who are in poly relationships and they all just get tested now instead, and rather than having condoms.
Yeah, but that's different, right? Like she's saying these are just people she's just met like very first time hooking up, rather than I'm in a poly relationship.
Yeah, but I think it's translated from that because they're so comfortable
now
with that.
Now the testing and some of the medications out there pretty
So
much
much
treat
better.
everything. It's like people are becoming less concerned. So I would like to probably here's an episode if we ever get Dr. Barlow or another medical professional on like the actual deep dive into that safe sex practice of not using condoms and stuff.
That'd be interesting. Okay. Post number 2. Mm-hmm. It's called My Meta Asked Me for a Performance Review After Sleeping with My Partner. So the post reads, my partner and I have been poly for a few years and recently they started seeing someone new. After they hooked up for the first time, my new partner, my meta, messaged me directly asking if I'd be open to giving feedback on how my partner is in bed so they can align experiences in quotation marks. I thought it was a joke, but they were serious and said they want to make sure they're meeting the same standard. Now my partner says I'm overreacting and it's just radical transparency, but it feels weirdly competitive, ? Is this real or fake?
Oh,
Fuck me. Honestly, I don't know. This is just weird.
Ready? 3 seconds. 3, 2,
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't know the letter.
1.
Fake.
So we got Lawrence with truth and Jess with fake. It is fake.
Yay!
I was really on the
I
fence
really
for that one.
didn't know. It's only because it's the comparison or the comparing. It's like, I don't know. If you've been in a poly relationship for a long time, I don't know.
I like to think it was real. It's kind of funny, honestly.
You know what? I was like, you know what I was thinking? I'm going, this is probably fake, but I imagine this has probably happened somewhere
Yes.
out there.
Yeah, it's probably happened.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right, number 3. So Jess is currently up by 1 point. So it's 2-1. Put the score
Yay.
up, Andy, so the good viewers can see who's winning.
Yay.
All right. Oh, Lawrence has got you covered. Okay. Post number 3. The title reads, anyone else feel weird about the term lifestyle? In quotation marks. Okay. I'll preface by saying that I think we all have a right to define ourselves with the terms that feel right for us. There's just always been something about people referring to being in the lifestyle that weirds me out. I can't even totally put my finger on why. Maybe it's just too reminiscent of people referring to the gay lifestyle. It also feels like it leans more towards swinger culture and less in the realm of poly, which is totally fine. Just an observation. Anyone else have this feeling? Thoughts? Is this real or fake?
Let me know.
Listeners, you can play at home.
Okay.
Here we go.
I have a reason for this answer.
3, 2, 1. So we got fake from Jess and
You're
truth.
supposed to say troll. It's truth or troll.
Fuck me. Troll.
Doesn't matter. Truth or troll, it is in fact a truth. It's a real one.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
real
I have this thought too. I'm like, I don't know, a lifestyle is just feels like the right label. I don't know. It feels almost cultish. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
There is something about that. There's also people who's calling them their partner, but I feel like there's a time where it's like you can't really call them boyfriend or girlfriend or something for a while, after a while.
I don't think I've ever since I've been in my 20s and then 30s, I've never called people boyfriends. It feels too childish.
It is a bit. It does feel
I say
childish.
partner more than anything because it just felt childish to me. But everyone's got their own opinion.
I say my other half a lot, or my wife. But
I just say my husband.
That's an actual title now. That's a legitimate title. Right.
That's true. But yeah, thank you to Pro Social Recluse for that one.
Okay.
A recluse.
Pro social recluse. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it?
There's a lot of labels going on there, babe. Fuck.
And also the one who was the real one before, I didn't try to read their name, and I'm sorry, but it's really hard to read. It's like Kai Softly. It's a bit hard to read. Sorry. Okay. So we've got 2-2. Yeah. You guys are tied up. And in a good way, which it always is. All right. Post number 4 we're at. So the title reads, Don't Wife Poach.
Don't wife poach. All right.
Someone's hurt.
I prefer my wife scrambled.
Mike's back on.
Yeah.
Mike's back. All right. Let's give it a go.
So this comes from Jesus Weezers. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So don't wife poach. This is for the couples who are being unethical about this. My wife the other day was supposed to meet with my other woman for some FF play, female play. Mm-hmm. Other woman was married, but said her husband wouldn't be involved. I drove my wife to drop her off for their first meet, and lo and behold, the other husband was there. They tried to convince my wife to cheat on me and have a threesome. Never seen her run back to the car so fast. Don't be this couple. Edit. Thanks for all the supportive comments. Sadly, I've had so many DMs saying we were in the wrong here and they had the right to do this. Real or fake?
Are they from America?
I'm not giving any clues. Sorry. No clues.
I've got my answer.
I feel like I've changed my things.
3, 2, 1. We've got a troll from Lawrence And a
True.
truth from Jess.
Don't
It is, in
know.
fact, a truth.
See, this is the thing
That was
I'm fighting
hard.
with internally here because I don't disagree with the message of this clearly trolling post. But yeah, that's
It's
yeah.
a bit-
I was just
yeah.
trying to discern whether this was written by us or not. But like, yes, I agree. Don't do that. And
Don't be a dick.
if people are going, you guys are in the wrong. What animals are these people? Obviously, the people who are
Yeah.
doing
It
it.
was
Like,
because you said they're in
it's
the
totally
wrong.
okay. That's weird.
No,
to
but
me.
people are keyboard warriors and will say anything.
Yeah, I know.
They
People
love a
just
good
say-
little rant.
People just say things like just to stir the pot, to troll,
True.
Maybe I was just identifying trolls. That's what's happening. I got confused.
Well, there is the other question about even if it is a real post, are they real? Is it a troll?
Is it real? Oh, are they trolling? Because yeah.
Can't actually give that answer. So sorry, there's not enough nuance to this game.
So stay two, right? Jess wins.
Well, what are we on? So 3-2. Well, you have the
Yay!
chance to tie if you get this wrong and Jess gets this. No, if you get this right, Lawrence, and Jess gets this wrong.
Okay.
You have a chance to tie. So we'll do the last one.
Okay,
Okay.
do it.
So, truth or troll, the title reads Couple we met insisted on a debrief mid play, like an actual meeting.
Meet. Mm.
So, we met a couple at a party and things escalated pretty naturally back at their place. Everything was going fine until halfway through, they literally paused everything and suggested we do a quick check in the living room. Lol. They sat us down and started asking questions like what we were enjoying, what could be improved, and if we wanted to adjust the dynamic for better flow. We ended up just awkwardly agreeing with everything and leaving shortly after. Is this a normal thing to do, or did we just stumble into some kind of corporate swingers?
Look,
Oh my god.
it's a funny story, but it's got to be.
It's gotta be.
Please let it
I
be.
don't know because we've talked about this on a podcast before. Is it?
So Jess and Lawrence both thought troll. It is a troll.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay, good.
troll. But I really wish it was real.
I wish it was real, and it's already happened. That's the thing. The sad thing about
No, we
all
did.
of
We
these.
talked about this on a podcast before. We had guests who
Hmm.
come here who talked about that particular situation happening.
Did they? Oh, did we
Yeah.
have that in an episode?
I don't remember which episode it
I
is,
don't
but I
remember
do know who the couple is. That's why I can remember because I can picture them being like halfway through, they wanted to do a check-in and they were like, it was such a weird way to do a check-in because they were like, okay, let's stop and debrief.
Oh,
And I was
yeah. I
like-
think maybe that was the episode with Bradford and Angela.
Maybe
I
or
think.
something, but I was like, how interesting.
Whereas I'm always happy to lose the truth or troll. As I said, I think the indictment of that was it all sounded true. So I can see all of this happening somewhere at some point. But hopefully you enjoyed the episode and you enjoyed our ranting about the goings on Reddit. Don't forget you can check out our new Patreon. We've got some extra sexy, dirty bonus content. We talk about our smutty stories and like things like raunchy recaps. For those of you who like hearing about the smut that goes on here at the club, that's where you can tune in. We're going to say have a big thank you to our spicy members. That is Ben P, David G, and Ryan. All our naughty members, you're on screen now. I think it was only whatever. Don't forget, we have our live podcast episode being recorded here at the club, Unfiltered, May 29th. Get your tickets now. The link is below. And let us know in the comments or wherever else what you thought about this episode, and Spotify and other places. You can leave comments. Send us a
Yes.
DM or VM on
And
socials.
Don't forget to spank that subscribe button, guys. The more that subscribe, the better outreach that we get, and also follow all our socials. But that is all for us today.
Stay sexy. We'll see you at the club. Bye.
Bye.